Hey, yo, what's going on, boys? Mike here, back with another video. So for today, guys, it's going to be more of a community video, and I love doing these, and my recent ones are always after a big update. Now, this one was also inspired by the recent post that Platinum 5 came out with in their Discord regarding the survey for feedback. Now, this video is going to be pretty much something regarding that, but also just my thoughts and where I think it should go, and also want to hear what you guys think BRM5 should go from here when it comes to the updates. Like, we just got 25v25. I know people are talking about the zombies game mode, but what's next, guys? What do you want to see in Platinum 5? What do you want to see in this game? And just overall the direction. I'd love to hear your thoughts. So as always, be sure you guys comment down below. We also have our faction starting up on Saturday, so if you ever seen those Timberwolf events, that's exactly what I'm talking about. If you want to be part of those, be sure you guys join the Discord down below. That being said, let's dive straight into this video. I think it's been around 2 weeks since 25v25 released. I would say roughly 2 weeks. And I gotta say that this was actually a really good update. Now, I'm not just saying that because obviously it's a new game mode, but in the sense where it's almost like Resurgence, right? A lot of people didn't understand why things were getting revamped, why it was from scratch, and pretty much why everything looks so different, right? Here's the mindset I have with this 25v25 and why I think it was a huge game changer for BRM5. Now, of course, it's nowhere near finished. I believe they have so many things to be adding to this game mode, and things like the leaderboard, different maps, and who knows, even with the variety of game modes they could potentially add within the 25v25. But for now, I like it how it is. Of course, it would be nice for some new maps, maybe even vehicles, all that stuff, but it's as expected. It just released, so you can't expect the whole thing, right? The thing I'm trying to say here is they're setting themselves up, and what I believe they are, in future success. Because you look at other games like Phantom Forces, when they all got released, they didn't have everything that you see in the game currently. Of course, it comes over time. It's the same thing with 25v25 here. It will come over time in terms of adding new features, adding new GUI, whatever they need to add to 25v25. I'm sure it's going to be worked on. And that's probably a big reason why I wanted 25v25 to be added in the first place, was because of its retention rate for the game. Now, going back to like one of the old videos I did, I was saying that the retention rate is actually one of the worst things that is happening to BRM5. So what this means is, like, let's just say new players find this game, they get to 5 stars, and then they ask themselves, what do they do after getting 5 stars? Do you join a faction, play 5v5, 2v2? The problem is they probably do that, and then they get bored after a couple of months. Let's be honest here. Going back to the first question I asked in this video is, like, how many times have you played BRM5 within like the last like couple of months? I feel like it's a very smaller number than it was when we first were new to BRM5. Like, let's be honest, when I first started playing BRM5, I was on that daily, and I actually enjoyed it every single time. The thing is with this game is I can't play it daily. I'll get really bored of it, and I'm sure you guys could agree. But this game mode will really help with that. And I've actually played this off camera too. Like, that tells you something about the 25v25 if I'm able to play it off camera and actually genuinely have fun. Now, if they do things like this with more updates, I promise you this game will go even higher. But the question is, what will they do in the next update, and what do they have in store for us, and what do you guys want to see? For me personally, what I would want to see in specifically this 25v25, let's get a leaderboard out there. I think a lot of people would enjoy that. I would say various of maps and good weapon selection. Now, I know I talked a lot of like smack about the weapons being added and how they shouldn't be focusing on that, but it does have its role later on in the game. I was just glad that they prioritized 25v25 and it wasn't just weapons, thank God. But yeah, things like that, almost like I keep relating it to Phantom Forces, because Phantom Forces is such a good precedent for a lot of FPS games in Roblox. Now, of course, you may not be a fan of Phantom Forces, but I was, and I played that for years. And that was back in like 2016, 2017. I don't really play it much nowadays, but back then it was my game, and that's why I relate a lot of it to BRM5, because I hope it could achieve something like what Phantom Forces did. Because let's be honest, Phantom Forces was a dynasty for Roblox, and it took it to that next level. And this could also be a dynasty. Like, let's be honest, what other game has vehicles, aircrafts like this that doesn't actually like break your PC? Now, of course, people do have problems with their PC in this game, but let's be honest, it's more on them. Of course, they could do all the optimization in the world, but if you're playing on a potato, you're playing on a potato. You can't change the fact that you're on a potato, and it should be able to run BRM5. Overall, I'm very happy with this 25v25 update. Now, of course, I'm looking forward to the things that they're adding to it in the near future, but also the new game mode that a lot of people are talking about, which is the zombies game mode. that's going to attract another set of players, and that's also going to give players like me, you, and any new player coming into BRM5 many options to play, and that's going to help bring up the player count and also just have that variety for players to choose from. Because now, if they have a established 25v25 game mode and a zombies game mode, that's going to distract players from wanting a open world update while they work on the open world update, if that makes sense, right? You know how like back in the day, I would say like Operation Viper got delayed, everyone got like pissed off, all that, right? Now, with this 2 new game modes coming in, people will be distracted by that, and that'll give the developers time to focus up on open world and other avenues of the game, and we'll still be satisfied because we have something to still play. So hopefully that makes sense, and that's a really, really good thing for both sides of developers and the community. Moving away from the 25v25, I want to talk more on the open world, and one of the things I love to see in the open world updates in the near future is maybe even a new map. Now, what kind of map would you guys actually be down for? I've heard people say like jungle biome. I've heard people say like they want more city maps. Now, for me personally, I don't know. I'm pretty torn. Like, we have such a diverse selection here. Like, you have village, then you go from like the village to desert, then from desert to like the lighthouse city, wherever you want to call it. Then you got like snow. Like, it's kind of like every place on the map has its own unique terrain and weather almost. But I feel like if they are gonna add a newer map, maybe it has to do more with water. I would mess with that. I'd imagine having the aircrafts play more of a role. So for example, like certain vehicles can get to certain places, but the aircrafts can, because I feel like the aircrafts are a big highlight of the game. And if they could capitalize that with the new map, let's just say like maybe raiding like an oil rig or raiding a boat. Let's just say like a carrier. Pretend there was an enemy carrier. Imagine having departments inside where you could raid room to room, almost like that newest building they added at the Hornet's Nest, where you could raid inside that big HQ building. Something like that, but in a carrier. That would be dope. Maybe they make it where it's like they have several maps, but it's not as big as the current one we have. So it focuses strictly, let's just say, on like a jungle biome. Then it's like a little decent map, right? But it's like 100% jungle themed. Then for the next map, only city themed, things like that. So they have a variety of maps to play from and to choose. That would be cool. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Like, what kind of map would you really want? It sounds like an easy question, but when you really think about it, like, you got to think about the aircrafts, you got to think about the vehicles, you got to think even about the lag. But that's what's amazing about BRM5 is how the ideas and pretty much your mind is, it's almost like Minecraft, right? As long as you're creative, you could do so much with BRM5 because of its potential, and that's why I love this game, and I could only wait and see what they have in store for us. But that's all I got for open world. There's a couple things I'd like to do in open world. Like what I always wanted was to have like that more of a support role. Like let's just say for example that air traffic control tower. I feel like if you could do something with that, because you could track those aircrafts on like a graph or like a radar type of thing on the wall, and I would feel like that would make such a good RP difference. And also just being able to direct supply drops or even loading it back at the base and having like a Chinook or whatever sling it or even put it inside the Chinook rather, that would be really, really cool. But that's a lot of work though. I can't imagine how that is. But anyways, that's gonna wrap up the video. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure you guys drop a like, subscribe, comment down below your thoughts, and check out my Twitch. I'm live there almost every single day. Anyways, I'll catch y'all on the next one.